So this year, one of the issues that's come up in JCR meetings has been to what extent should JCR committee decisions be made in direct consultation with students in college, or to what extent is the committee elected to make decisions for students in some way? So, I mean, I was wondering what you think the balance should be between direct consultation and surveys and just making decisions based on what you think is right.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely has been an issue this year, and I think that more surveys on the big issues, such as the room ban, accused would have to be a referendum, and other such things like that. I think that's important. At the same time, we can't spam with everyone, and there's no point in having a committee if every decision goes out to college. So it would be, on the big issues, more surveys would be the move I'd make. But then again, there has to be a point on smaller technical matters. We can't ask everyone's opinion all the time, so move the laws just like that.
The problem is there's going to be a lot of crossover here, because I agree the big issues require direct participation. The problem is how do you define a big issue? And I think at that point it should be, as harsh as it may sound, I think the committee should decide as a whole what classifies as a big enough issue to require direct student participation. I feel as the committee is here to represent every aspect of student life, the committee should at least have the power to decide what issues require direct consultation, which they feel they can manage on their own.
Any more questions?
Hi Ben.
Thanks
for your speeches. I've been on the committee this year, and I think one of the things that really struck me was, you know, at times the committee would go to college and say something and then just back down, or students would have a complaint and it would come through the JCR committee and we'd go to college and we'd just give in. Like, too much of the decisions, too much of, for my liking anyway, of college life is dictated by the college rather than by the students. So I was wondering what your opinion on that was and how independent you see the JCR from the college.
The problem is we are living at college, and it's inevitable that they're going to be able to veto certain things. The JCR, I don't see it as being independent, I see it as being a channel between student bodies and the college itself. I feel if you and others feel that the college needs to, well, I mean the JCR needs to step up and possibly be more forceful on issues that matter, then yeah, that's something that I'd be more than willing to do, but I do think we have to remember that there's a point when situations aren't feasible, and it may only be that we can't completely understand the reasons.
Yeah, of course, that issue has come up a lot, and I think the key thing there is to remember is that the JCR, at the end of the day, we can play with college, so we need to play as well as we can. I think one thing that went well, displaying what you're talking about, is whenever we handed in all those people saying, oh, we don't agree with the rooms that were being allocated to freshers, you know, we actually got something done. So I think maybe on one or two more occasions where we're really pushed, we should do that, but we can't do it all the time, because then we're just being, you know, really rebellious and unnecessarily unhelpful.
I'll take another question if there is one.
Yeah. Just to generally see how you guys sort of, tackle college issues. What do you think about the preferential treatment of the choir? Do you think that's fair?
I assume you mean that in regards to the formal hall.
Yeah.
So the key thing there is that, yes, they do get on a Sunday night and 2 other nights, one other night, I think.
They get 2 free formals.
2 free formals, exactly. So I think that they do need to have a reward in some way. They are doing service to college. Should it be on another night, which is perhaps less popular with students than Sunday night? I think that's perhaps one area we could perhaps make progress on. But choir members still keep it to them.
Yeah, again, I mean, it's possible we can raise the issue of looking at night within the third day of Sunday. But I think one issue to remember is that you very often find that the form isn't full anyway. So dedicating half a table to people who, as Ben said, have earned the right to some reward, I feel isn't as big an issue as certain others in the college. I mean, certainly looking at maybe the allocation of days or some of them doing it is possible, but as an issue as a whole, I don't think it's really one that needs concern.
I would take one final question if there is one.
What are your views on subcommittees for a JCR committee, and how much work would you expect a person who joins a subcommittee to participate, and how would you delegate work through a JCR committee to them?
Well, I think there becomes a point when it's administration for administration's sake. I mean, would you consider what every member of the committee should have its own subcommittee? Is that?
That's my question. Like, what do you think
I don't
should
consider
be?
that there should be subcommittees on that level. I mean, I feel the JCR president of the committee, the point of them is to delegate issues amongst themselves. I feel if you delegate issues to subcommittees and then they must talk amongst themselves and relate it back to the committee, issues just get watered down and things get confused. There should be a cut-off point where decisions need to be made.
Yeah, and the subcommittees, obviously, like you say, not everyone can have a subcommittee.
Yeah.
And things such as freshers, because equal ops is going in with welfare, that's going to have a subcommittee equal ops one. Access is perhaps one area where people need to help. Should that be a committee, maybe not, but you can't delegate so much that people aren't going to want to join the committee. You still need to make it fun for them. And I think the key thing is perhaps a tad more delegation down to committees, but I don't think we can have like 8 committees or subcommittees.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to both these guys. It's not easy. I've been there. So thank you very much for those answers. Just to let everyone know the process from here. Tomorrow night, 8 PM in Ramsey, there will be the presidential debate. The structure of that is a bit more grilling, basically. A lot of the questions are coming from me with hypothetical situations, some of which I've had to deal with, some of which I'll make up. I said much more sort of general election style, with the candidates get to discuss things with each other. So please do come along to that. The voting itself will be at the weekend online between 9 AM and 9 PM, and then on paper in the Porters Lodge on Sunday between 11 and 1, and then 2 till 5. The count will then be held in the Buckingham Room at 9 PM that evening. The count is open to anyone who wants to come along. Thank you very much again, guys. I think a round of applause is very much appreciated.